Alright, what is up everybody? So, Shadow Scout 0013 here, report again for some news that just dropped yesterday, technically, on the Bright Tree Battle Force. And they're finally showing C3PO and Logray, finally. So you got C3PO and Logray, and then their command cards, well, I should say Logray's command cards and upgrade cards. So it's going to be an exciting day today to just kind of go over these, and I've got 4 lists to go over, all 800 points, and I'll kind of go over the Battle Force rules a little bit as well. But first, I'll just go over some housekeeping things. If you haven't already, go ahead and head to the Discord. Here, you're going to get all the news. If you're going to get, if you have any questions, you're going to get your answers, or at least someone's going to help you. If you have any list building ideas and or questions, feel free to post them. If you have ideas about CIS, you can chat about it and then post like lists. So there's lots of things you can do, and put in your hot takes as well. So head there. It's free. It's awesome. And then if you haven't already, go ahead and head to Clan of Shadows Patreon, where you're going to get everything either early, or at least you're going to get some back end things and videos from my end. So that way, if you've got questions about objectives or conditions or whatever, I'll try to answer them here as well. That way you can kind of get some one-on-one or a little bit better view on objectives and stuff. Also, lastly, if you haven't headed to the Burn Academy, go ahead and head there now. For 15 bucks, you can subscribe, download the app. You get 3, 4, 5, and 6-day week workout programs, corrective exercise programs, at-home stuff, coaching videos, 120 different recipes, and there will be new things coming soon. I'm in the middle of getting my next certification, or my 4th one, I should say, and I want to kind of revamp this and maybe make it easier for people who just have questions as well. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. Let's look at C3PO, the master, or the golden god, I should say. Yes, awesome, hilarious. 3 HP makes sense. 2 courage, okay. He's speed 2, which is insane, which is nice. That's awesome. They're probably just carrying him. And then you've got surge to defense. He's got no attacks whatsoever, so he's specifically supporting your army. He's got master storyteller, so you're going to just choose up to X amount of friendly bright tree units or Ewoks at range 1, and X is the current round number. So if it's round 3, you're going to give 3 different units 2 surge tokens. So depending on the round, this gets better over time. So the longer you can keep him alive, the better. He's going to have compel bright tree troopers, or Ewok troopers, I should say. And so with the new rules, which I'll go over in just a little bit, they have to take 1 less suppression off at the end of the round. I think that's what it just said, and I'll reread it. So it's going to be a lot easier to compel, but you also have to watch out for suppression in this Battle Force. But there are ways, obviously, to get rid of them. There's at least 3 different units. I mean, if you have Leia, Logray, and Chewie, that's a ton of Inspire. I think it's what, Inspire 7 throughout the round, so that's not bad. And then if you added the, not Inspiring Presence, the Lead by Example, that's another Inspire 2. So you'd have nothing to worry about. And then maybe Endurance. Yeah, there's lots of ways to counter it, but we'll see. He's got Infiltrate, which is great because he'll be able to kind of get in and really go with Master Storyteller, maybe move, just keep him out of line of sight completely. He's got Divine Influence, so while little tiny Ewoks are within range 1, so within, not at, so while they're within range 1 of C3PO, Ewok Trooper units gain Guardian 2, and then while using Guardian, they can cancel crit results as if they were hit, so it's kind of like they've got Protector built in. So you're going to have to make sure that you literally surround C3PO, because there's 6 minis in the unit base, and then if you had the upgrades, that's up to 8, and you've got to keep them all within range 1 of C3PO. So that might be tough, but at least he's going to reward them really well as their golden god with 2 surge tokens. So that's really it. Not much to him. He's 40 points, pretty cheap. We'll see if he goes down to 35 at some point. All right, Logray. Awesome character. I'm always going to include Logray in almost any Ewok list I make, specifically because of the Courage 3. He's got 4 health. He surges to defense on white defense dice. He's speed 2. He's got a staff, so a melee of 2 black dice that is suppressive. He's got aid Ewok troopers, independent aim or dodge. So it's almost going to be similar to like pikes and stuff, but he's getting independent aim or dodge he gets to choose, which is really cool. Inspired 2 built in, low profile and nimble. And I'll kind of talk a little bit more. So like if you were to upgrade him with situational awareness, and he's got a command slot and 3 training. So if you had situational awareness in one and vigilance in the other, you know, he's got nimble, so he's going to be able to cancel crits the whole round, and then at the end of the round, he's going to be able to keep that dodge on him. And then next round, you're going to be able to get another dodge on him, probably through the independent, and or if you do aid, you have another token at the beginning of the round that you can keep on yourself. I don't know if you can give it out, I'm not sure. If you had one already on you, because I think it's when you get the I'll have to look at aid again. But yeah. And the Inspired 2 is going to be really nice. The low profile, making sure that always... I think all of them pretty much have low profile for the most part. If I'm not mistaken, if we just take a real quick look at, you know, the Ewok skirmishers, they've got low profile. And then I think the slingers also have low profile. Yeah, so they all have low profile. So they're all getting heavy cover plus. And yeah, these guys are going to be awesome. So yeah, there's not much to him, but we can take a look at his upgrades real quick. So secret ingredients. With secret ingredients, it's Logray only, and all 3 of these are Logray only. This one's non-exhaustible. You can use it as many times as you want to. So at the start of each round, you're going to put 1 aim or dodge token on this card. So yeah, he does have independent aim or dodge, so he's going to do that. And then at the beginning as well, you're going to put another aim or dodge on this card. And at the start of the unit's activation, it may remove any number of tokens from this card to gain the matching token. So if you put an aim on here, and maybe you had independent dodge, then you put an aim on here, then you took it, you could aid it, I'm sure, and then after you use aid, you usually gain a suppression. You can remove a suppression. So basically you get to aid for free if you have this. How it's only 5 points is beyond me, but that's amazing. So herbal medicine, it is inexhaustible, and it's a free action to choose another Ewok trooper unit at range 1, remove a wound from that unit, or restore a defeated miniature to the unit. So if you have him surrounded again or if you have a ton of Ewoks in your army and you have Wicket, you're going to be able to remove a wound from Wicket or C-3PO, and then maybe restore a defeated Ewok as well. And that's once per round, so you might have to recover to get to do that again, but it's probably worth it to have just a medic, and you can do it as many times as you want to as long as you just recover. So that's going to take away an action. You just got to be careful of when you use it and how often you use it. And then onward to victory. So this card may only be exhausted at the start of the activation phase. So before the first person activates, you can exhaust this. And so for the entire round, you're going to have to discard it if you do exhaust it at the start of the end phase. So you won't be able to use it next round. So it's kind of like it's only kind of like a one-time use. But yeah, you exhaust at the very beginning when everything's about to activate, and then you're going to discard at the very end. So while this card is exhausted, basically for the entire round, when an enemy unit is defeated, you can perform a speed 1 move with a friendly Ewok trooper. So maybe if you're playing hostage, and maybe you were able to play Leia's 2-pip that gives teamwork to Wicket and allows rebels to give orders to... I forgot which one I had it on. Not that one. Not that one. I mean, we'll take a look at it. But yeah, so a beautiful friendship. So basically, when an Ewok commander issues orders, you can choose a friendly rebel unit at range 1 and issue that in order, and vice versa. When a rebel commander issues an order, it can choose a friendly Ewok unit or Bright Tree unit, I should say, at range 1 and issue it in order. So basically, this card is going to allow Leia to give Chewbacca an order. And if you did that, then on the next round or another time, you're going to be able to play Brains and Brawn while Leia is performing a ranged attack. If Chewie is not engaged and has line of sight to and is at range 1 to 3 of the defender, you can add one of his ranged attack weapons to the attack pool. And obviously, he's got an amazing range 1 to 4 weapon, Impact 3, triple rainbow, along with her Pierce and Sharpshooter 2. Man, yeah, that's going to be absolutely insane. And it all surges to crit anyway. But yeah, we'll take a look at those in just a minute. So this Onward to Victory could be tapped at the start of the activation phase after you maybe have, if you decided to take that Leia's 2-pip with Wicket, if she were to have her 2-pip No Time for Sorrows that allows 2 units to make a speed 1 move, you can move your hostage that round a speed 3 basically by the end if you were to have defeated an enemy unit this round. That round that you exhausted the Onward to Victory. So it's kind of like you've got to time it all right for it to happen, but hey, it could be worth it. I'm not sure yet. I haven't put it in a list, but it would be a good one to have. Now let's take a look at the command cards that you're going to get with, I think, Logray. So, what is it? Arboreal Assault? It's 2 Ewok Trooper units, or Bright Tree Trooper units. So, it's going to be Ewoks, because if it's just a regular unit, like a Bright Tree unit, that could be given to Chewbacca, but for the most part, it's going to be C-3PO or all Ewoks. You have to nominate basically Wicket or Logray. The weapon of Ewok Trooper units that have face-up order token gain suppressive and immobilize 1 this round. This round, after a friendly Special Forces unit performs an attack against a unit with a face-up order token, shuffle that token back into its order pool. Now with this one, you have to... This just says, first, let me go ahead and point this out. So this round, after a friendly Special Forces unit performs an attack against a unit with a face-up order token, it doesn't say that a unit issued an order with this card, if that unit performs an attack. No, it's just Special Forces. So you have to include at least 2 Rebel units in every list for Bright Tree. And you could just do commando units with snipers, and that's a range 1 to 5 gun, and they're Special Forces. So after they perform an attack against a unit with a face-up order token at range 1 to 5, you're going to be able to shuffle that order token back into its order pool. So maybe HQ Uplink could be a good upgrade for maybe this card on both of your Special Forces units of your scouts, your commandos. And that would make better use of that, because then you can give it to, maybe, if you gave it to Wicket, because he's going to have Relentless. So his Pierce 1 weapon would be able to gain, so let's take a look at Wicket real fast. He's going to have that Pierce 1, he's got Relentless, and it's going to gain Suppressive, and then they're going to gain an Immobilized token, and you're probably putting something through. And if maybe you had Tenacity, yeah, you're definitely going to make really good use of the 1-pip, even though he's not going to gain from his independent. It'll still be good. And then maybe you give it to just another random trooper unit, or you gave it to C-3PO. Well, I wouldn't give it to C-3PO. I'd give it to another unit that's about to charge in, or if it had the upgrade that call to arms that allows you to gain charge that round and a suppression, you're going to make your weapon suppressive and then possibly give them an immobilized token. So that's really cool. This is a good 1-pip for sure, because it's also giving out 2 orders. Now, and then if you have the HQ uplink on the commandos, you're probably going to have priority unless you have a match off or a roll off. Another 1-pip, awesome, log traps. So this round, at the start of the activation phase, 1 Ewok Trooper unit that contains an Ewok Trapper miniature may make the attack listed below. And for the most part, you're probably going to be taking Ewok Trappers in most of the lists. So it just kind of, depends. But if you don't have any trappers are not going to be able to take this card, and you're giving it to no units. So a few of your units are probably going to be able to benefit from the independent and then aid, but for the most part, you're not going to be able to have order control. And yeah, so it's tough, but if you have those HQ uplinks, that'll be really nice. And a range 1 to 4, impact 4, pierce 1 is really good, especially against the Dark Troopers. The 2-pip, hiding in plain sight, 2 Ewok Trooper units. Oh, I say Ewok, but it's Bright Tree. I'm sorry if you guys are offended if I say Bright Ewoks instead of Bright Tree, but I'm just saying Ewok Trooper units because that's basically all the Trooper units except for C-3PO that are Bright Tree. So you must nominate Logray or Wicket or possibly C-3PO. Same with the other 1-pip. Units issued in order by this card gain inconspicuous this round. So basically, if they have a suppression token, your opponent is going to have to target someone else before they could shoot at the unit with a suppression on them. So this is really nice. It's kind of like what R2-D2 has, inconspicuous. So in just 2 trooper units, it's not bad. You've got 3 possible commanders, Bright Tree commanders that you can use to give this out. And if there's pretty spread out, that's pretty good. And then the 3-pip for the tribe. You're going to be able to give it out to 3 Ewok Trooper units or Bright Tree Trooper units, whatever you want to say. You must nominate a Bright Tree commander. This round, at the beginning of the activation phase, units issued in order by this card may recover, basically getting rid of all your suppression. This round, Bright Tree Troopers with a face-up order token gain Dauntless and Relentless. So Dauntless, you have to be suppressed, but not panicked. So if you recover, you're kind of getting rid of all of your suppression. So it might not, make sense. But if anything, you're still going to be able to double move and use Relentless. Yeah, I don't understand. Yeah, that doesn't make sense. So the units issued in order by this card can recover, and then also units with a face-up order token gain Dauntless. I guess with the 3... I don't know. The same people who are recovering are going to gain Relentless. All right. Well, yeah. There you go. So that is my take. It's got a scary face for an Ewok. That's pretty awesome right there. And then you got some really good artwork on here. I really love the way it's looking. Those stormtroopers are getting hammered. All right. Let's back this up a little bit and look at Chewbacca. So Chewbacca has armor, complete armor. It's going to have 11 health, 8 on break, which is basically another regular ATST. It's got surge to crit, surge to defense, white defense dice, speed 2, all normal for what you would see except for the surge to crit for an ATST. Range 1 to 4, double rainbow, range melee to 3, single rainbow. So it's kind of similar, just like the other one, except this one, the Bright Tree one, has melee to range 3 instead of 1 to 3. So you'd have impact 4. You'd have really good impact in here from a command card and with Chewbacca, but that's the only impact you're really going to have. So you're going to have to be careful. And if you bring Leia's 1-pip, I'm not sure if that has impact in it or not. I can't quite remember. Let's see. Nope, just Fort Infinity. Not to change some of those command cards, because, yeah, I was just in a hurry when I did those. And then you have the grenade launcher, which is range melee to range 2. 2 black, blast. Awesome, just awesome. It's incognito, so you cannot be attacked by any units beyond range 1 unless you've already performed an attack or use an objective card action during this game. So if you haven't done any objectives and you haven't performed an attack, you can get up to right before range 1 before getting shot at, if you haven't shot. So this is great walking cover, but you're also sacrificing such good guns, surge to crit, and possibly allowing some other units to survive for a while. So the incognito might be good for some instances, just not all. For key positions, it's probably going to be good to maybe wait and lure everyone into the middle before you just start blasting away. That could be good for incognito. And breakthrough. I mean, this could be good for breakthrough. Yeah. You have Inspire 3 and Arsenal 2, so you can use 2 of these guns at once. But the Inspire 3 is going to be really nice because obviously you are going to have a ton of suppression in the Bright Tree Battle Force. So having any of those Inspires keywords is going to really, really help. And then that is all the other units and upgrades. Let's take a look at the Battle Force and the rules. So a Bright Tree Village Battle Force is part of the Rebel Alliance faction. This Battle Force may take any number of mercenary units. It doesn't count towards the minimum number of ranks because it's just a Battle Force. And the Battle Force must take at least 2 non-Bright Tree Rebel units. So you're going to have to take either 2 of the Rebel Troopers or 2 Rebel Commandos, or Leia and Han Solo. Those could count as your 2 Rebel units. And then during the end phase, Bright Tree units in this army remove 1 fewer suppression token during the remove token step. So if you're left with only 1 suppression at the end of the round, you're going to have to keep it. Because you can't remove it, you have to remove 1 less, if I'm getting that right. So like I said, those Inspire keywords are going to be amazing for this list. So let's look at the allowed units. You have Commander C-3PO, Han Solo, Leia, Logray, and Wicket. You have Operative Chewie that you can bring if you wanted to. If you're trying to save points and make an even bigger list, then Operative Chewie could be amazing, but I always have chosen to bring Heavy Chewie for the impact and for the surge to crit and tons of dice. So yeah, that's why I'm always bringing this Chewie. Then you can do special forces. You have to have the Ewok Slingers or up to 0 to 2 Rebel Commandos. No strike teams. Got to be the full Rebel Commandos. You don't have to have a heavy, but yeah. And I would probably have the Rebel Commandos over just Rebel Troopers for the mere fact that you've got Sharpshooter 1. You have low profile on these guys as well. So it's like almost your entire army will have low profile. That's not a commander. Well, yeah, you know what I mean. Not a commander as in Leia or Han. Ewok Skirmishers in your core. And you can have 0 to 2 Rebel Troopers. And then unique upgrades, Call to Arms, Herbal Medicine, Onwards to Victory, and Secret Ingredients. Now, rank requirements. You can have, each army must include 1 to 5 commander or operative units. And at least 1 must be a commander. Obviously. But you can have up to 5. This is so cool. You can definitely do like a hero hammer in here. Special Forces. Each army must include up to 3 Special Forces. Or may include, not must. So each army may include up to 3 Special Forces. Core, each army must include 3 to 6 core units. For supports, each army may include up to 2 support units. And the Ewok Gliders, I think either I heard that or something, that would be a really good support unit. And then your heavies, each army may include up to 2 heavy units. So you have Chewie. And then for skirmish, each army must include 1 to 4 commander or operatives. At least 1 has to be a commander. For special forces, each army may include up to 3 special forces units. For core, each army must include 2 to 4. Core support may include up to 1, and heavies you may include up to 1. But this is going to be fun. The removing 1 less suppression token, maybe not so fun. But I think a lot of people are going to have a good time. Now, here are a few lists that I've come up with, and we'll take a look at the command cards in just a minute. But I have Logray with Herbal Medicine, Secret Ingredients, and Situational Awareness. I don't have Vigilance on him because I didn't have the points for the time being. But if there's a way for you to create points, then do it. This is only 9 acts, so this is the lowest one I have because there's a lot of upgrades. Then you've got, I have Herbal Medicine on there because obviously you want to have a medic, and I have Secret Ingredients on there because he's got aid, and this is going to help reduce the suppression on Logray. And then with Situational Awareness, having Nimble and the Independent Dodge is going to be really nice to be able to continually cancel crits. Then Wicket, he's got the Forest Dweller so that he can gain Scout 2, and then the Scouting Party. He's going to have Situational Awareness and Tenacity. I have Leia with Improvised Orders and Portable Scanners. I've got, 2 Ewok Skirmishers. Well, both of them have the Axe Ewok, the Ewok Trapper, Insatiable Curiosity, and Call to Arms. And yeah, I figured the Insatiable Curiosity could at least go on 2 of them because one unit could get wiped out. And so in order to have this, and or you can have up to 2 dark troopers, so this would help a lot to get rid of one of their guns and remove all those dice and keywords down to just a single black dice. And then call to arms, to be able to gain that charge when you need it is important. Then I have just 2 commandos with the sniper, so that way you have a little bit over your 2 rebel units, but I figured that the snipers would be amazing to have. And then I have the Ewok slingers with the Ewok axe, the trapper, and forest dwellers. And the reason I have the trapper in there is just to give it an extra body. And then Chewbacca. Now, you won't be able to use No Time for Sorrows because, I mean, you could probably give No Time for Sorrows to the commandos or Leia, but you wouldn't be able to give it to any of the Ewoks. So if you wanted to trade that out, you could just push, but just to maybe get those commandos a little bit better, a better view, or maybe to get a better position, maybe you could use it for that. And then, yeah, log traps, all that good stuff. It's 9-axe. You've got all loaded units, but it's low for being a rebel list with no surge white dice. Alright, so let's take a look at the second one. This is 11-axe, and this one's going to have Chewbacca for the Inspire 3. This one's got C-3PO. You've got Logray with the Inspire 2, with Vigilance, the Herbal Medicine, Secret Ingredients, and Situational Awareness. And so at this point, you're going to be able to have Logray keep the dodge that he has at the end of the round and do a lot with that. Either, I don't know if he'll be able to aid from Vigilance on the next round. Just, hold on, let's look at this real fast. So, boom, keywords, aid. So when you gain an aim or dodge, so he's not gaining an aim or dodge, so you wouldn't be able to technically give that to somebody else, but you could consistently keep a dodge for yourself then and aid another one to someone else. And with Secret Ingredients, at the start of each round, you're going to put an aim or dodge on this card, and you're going to be able to give out another token, as far as I understand. Then with Wicket, you've got Forest Dwellers, Situational, and Tenacity. You've got 2 Ewok Skirmishers with just the Ewok Axe guy, and you've got 2 of them with the Call to Arms because you're only allowed to have 2, and they can gain the charge. You've got 2 Naked Ewok Skirmishers. You've got 2 Rebel Commando units with the Sniper and Hunter. And then this would hopefully make use of the 1 pip, that if you were to, shoot with the commandos at that range 1 to 5, you're going to be able to put their order back. If you had some room for 20 points, you could put HQ uplink on them both so that they can try to benefit from that 1 pip. That's just kind of up to you. Yeah, you wouldn't be able to give out orders from push to the commandos, but you could have it in there. If you just didn't want to give out any of the orders, you can still use aggression and all that stuff. So if we just took out push, yeah, you could use the mercenary aggression to give it to 2 units and or not give it to 2 units. That way each one gains an aim in case you definitely needed to give out an aim to anybody. Yeah. So that could be fun. That's 11-axe. You still have room. You still have 7 points left to kind of do what you want. Maybe with these extra Ewok Skirmishers, you could do Forest Dwellers and get them up a little bit more. And the Ewok Skirmishers with Call to Arms and Ewok Axe could go with Wicket for the scouting party. So they didn't need any extra Forest Dweller stuff. And then the extra 2 here that have Forest Dwellers can go up and get that dodge. And then the Ewok Skirmishers here could just kind of do what you need to and go after maybe objectives or anything else. Or maybe just let them be the Suicide Squad. And then, yeah, like I said, your Rebel Commandos that have the Sniper and Hunter. Let's take a look at the next one. Another 11-act list. This time, you're going to have Leia, and Leia cannot do the brains and brawn. I need to take that out because she doesn't have the other 2 pip. Now, if you were to take out the hiding in plain sight and then do a beautiful friendship, to be able to give out orders to Chewie, you could do that. And or instead of maybe Brains and Brawn, maybe if you wanted to play a little bit differently, you would be able to give this card to units at range 1 of yourself to be able to keep moving up just a little. But you're probably better off with Brains and Brawn because you're probably going to hide Leia behind Chewie to gain that extra line of sight blocking and just allow her to move up, inspire, take cover to everybody because she's going to have take cover 3. And then since she's going to have the teamwork with Wicket, anytime she gives Wicket a dodge, she's going to get one. And or if she takes a dodge and then also does take cover, that's possibly 2 dodges for both of them, and then you're still handing out another 2 dodges. So there's lots of good ways to be able to get her dodges and Wicket dodges. Han Solo's going to have up close and personal. If you wanted to have him have maybe lead by example instead of up close and personal, that's fine. Maybe instead of that, if you wanted to give him maybe situational awareness, that would leave another 4 points available for a bid or for maybe an extra training slot for one of them, especially for Force Dwellers. That's 3 points, so it'd be still give you a 1 point bid. Then you have Chewie, the heavy. And if you wanted to make him the operative, you could have way more activations. But that Inspire 3 is going to be good because Han Solo doesn't have Inspire. And then also, Logray's got that Inspire 2. So right now you've got the Inspire 2 here, Inspire 3 here for 5, and then another Inspire 2 here for 7. Being able to get rid of as much suppression as possible. Again, filling up Logray's upgrades with Vigilance, Secret Ingredients, Herbal Medicine, and Situational Awareness to keep him alive with that dodge consistently all around so that you can probably try to use that Herbal Medicine on everybody. And it's a free action to heal, so as long as you recover, you can move and then exhaust it again, or you can do whatever you need to do to keep that one alive if you had to. You've got Wicket with Situational Awareness and Force Dwellers, no tenacity. You've got the Ewok Skirmishers. You've got 2 of them with the Axe Ewok and Call to Arms. You've got another one with just Force Dwellers, and then 3 Ewok Slingers just by themselves. And that gives you 11 activations. And then with, Han and Leia, you could bring some of Han's command cards if you wanted, but having that Relentless is really nice. Having this Impact 4 Pierce 1 really is nice. The Beautiful Friendship is going to allow her to give this out to somebody. So after Leia activation, you can choose another friendly trooper unit at range 1 to 2 with a face-up order token and activate that one. So maybe you go with her, and at range 1, she can give that order to Chewie, the ATST. And then you've got this one that you can use to have Chewbacca add his attack pool and then eventually attack himself, because it doesn't say that he needs to flip his order token over. And then with this one, with Somebody Has to Save Our Skins, you could go with Leia, maybe give out a ton of dodges and whatever else, and then you immediately can go with Chewie here. Yeah, there's a lot you could do with both of those. And then with Coordinated Bombardment, this is going to help hopefully get rid of strike teams or whatever else, maybe damage it a little bit, so your Ewoks can kind of get in a little bit more. Yeah. This one's kind of geared a little bit towards Leia giving out as much as she can, and Han Solo is just going in and shooting. He's got the steady keyword, so he can kind of pop out behind the ATST, do his gunslinger, and then pop back in, gain 2 dodges just in case he needed to. Yeah, there's lots of amazing things that you can do with a lot of these lists. And then last but not least, I've got another 11-act list with C-3PO, Leia, Chewie. Leia's got improvised and portable scanners. Logray's got everything I usually do. Wicket's got Force Dwellers and situational, no tenacity. You have 2 fully loaded Ewok Skirmishers with the Axe Ewok, Ewok Trapper, Call to Arms, and Endurance, because obviously with the Call to Arms, yes, they're going to gain charge, but they're going to gain a suppression as well. And then at the end of the activation with Endurance, they can take that off. And if they have any other suppression, it's going to wind up, you're still going to be able to take 1 less. So, yeah, I figured Endurance, and, even though you have the Inspire 7, that Endurance is really going to help, because then you can get more suppression off of these other Ewok Skirmishers. All the other 3 naked units have Force Dwellers to gain that dodge and scout, and then you've got 1 naked commando unit, because you need to have 2 Rebel units, and there's your Leia, and then there's your commandos to give you the 11 acts that you need. Again, kind of benefiting off of the Beautiful Friendship, Brains and Bronze. The coordinated bombardment is just giving it to her, so you don't have to worry. But then, if you needed to give any other orders out, you're not probably giving them to any of the Rebel Trooper units with For the Tribe and Courageous Counterattack, because it's going specifically to Bright Tree Trooper units. And Commandos and Leia are not that, so. And obviously, you can give them orders, but they wouldn't benefit necessarily from that card. So, yeah. There are 4 lists. One of them is 9. The rest of them, I think, are 11. Yeah, all 11. You can get to 13, I think, if you kind of trim down a lot of the upgrades. But it just kind of depends. You know, the reason I have Force Dwellers on Wicket, again, is because it's just like having Recon on Rex. And if, you know, you are playing Hostage Exchange, once Wicket makes that scout move, then you can obviously move the hostage unit a speed 2 away. And then eventually, if you were to play, instead of Brains and Bronze, after you played Beautiful Friendship that first round, nothing can happen to them. And then the second round, you could go with, instead of Brains and Bronze, the one where No Time for Sorrow, so you can give it out to 2 trooper units, and hopefully if you had moved Leia up enough to be able to get at range 1-ish of that unit, you could give out that order, have them do a speed 1 move before they even activate, so they've gone a speed 2 and then a speed 1, and then, hold on, yeah, they did a speed 2 for the scouting party, and then when it's their turn, they could still double move that speed 1, and then that would get everyone close enough to Leia for Leia to do No Time for Sorrows, for them to make another speed 1 move, and then you again double move them on their turn. Man, yeah, that hostage unit is hightailing it out of there, and then you just go hard with Chewie and Leia's Sharpshooter 2 and Pierce, and then you bring your opponent's army to you for hostage exchange. So that could always be fun, and that's a good little combo with Brains and Brawn and or No Time for Sorrows. But that 2-pip slot is going to be really hard. There's so many good 2-pips in this battle force that are just really, really good. So take your pick, do what you want. Hopefully these have kind of helped. Maybe this kind of gives you an idea, because with Logray, again, with that Inspire 2 low profile, independent aim or dodge, he's going to be an amazing commander for that courage bubble, as well as giving and handing out all those dodges or aims. You know, Leia's going to be able to hand out a ton of dodges. Man, yeah, I think this is going to be really good, but you probably want at least 10 or more activations with the Ewoks or Bright Tree Battle Force, just because, again, they're all white dice saves, and your skirmishers and your special force, you know, Ewok slingers, they have white dice and don't search. They're naked B1s. And the Ewok slingers are obviously cheaper, so if you wanted to get rid of 2 of these Ewok skirmishers, you could probably make room for 2 more of the Ewok slingers. Give yourself a few more points. Maybe give Wicket tenacity if you do plan on getting up and close with him. You could do lead by example to give Leia even more of her Inspire, or maybe you also give these little Ewok skirmishers the Force Dwellers upgrade to give them Scout 1, because they don't have Scout naturally, and they only have that range 1 to 2. And then you still have 6 points left again. Maybe you give the Commandos the Emergency Transponders, and then that could give you a 2-point bid. Yeah, that wouldn't be too bad. Still 11 acts, still really nice. But yeah, I'll post all of these into the description below. If you haven't already, go ahead and subscribe and leave a comment for your chance to win $25. I'm going to put a post for the winner instead of announcing it at the end of this, just because I didn't have it ready. So, yep, my bad, guys. I was trying to get all of these lists done, a whole bunch of other things. I've had time to do it. It's just I completely forgot with all the other things going on. So I'm a little scatterbrained. I'll post it as just a little thing on like an announcement or something, like a post on YouTube here. But thanks, guys. If you haven't already, again, head to the Discord, become a member, post your chats, post your everything in here. So that way, if you've got questions or if you've got lists or if you've got tournaments coming up, tell us, take pictures. I love to see these photos. I ask everyone to take photos just because I want to see the tables. I want to see the minis. I want to know how things went and if strategies worked, it didn't work, what kind of happened. It's just a good like case study in a way, because I've worked with tons of case studies for personal training and stuff, so I kind of understand that these just help give you a better understanding of the game. And if you haven't, head to the Clan of Shadows Patreon, because this helps with the giveaways for the $25 giveaway that we're doing every other month basically, and then it gives you extra little content. And then the Burn Academy, if you just subscribe for $15 a month, you get all of this here. So you can head to theburnacademy.com. Like I said, I'm going to be revamping it probably in another month or two after I finish my certification and make a whole new layout, and hopefully you guys will enjoy that too if you are interested in either just learning about stuff in the gym and whatnot. But yeah. All right, guys. Y'all take it easy. I want to give a special thank you and shout out to all of the Patreon members. Anthony Estrada, thank you so much for putting on the painting competition that's going on right now, and for being such an amazing person and contributor. Kitsune, Emperor Atlantis, thank you for being your Special Forces leaders. Y'all are amazing leaders and helping. And then Corps Captain, thank you, Tyson, for donating. All of you guys, I really, really appreciate it. So may the Force be with you. Thank you guys so much, and y'all have a great day.